Happy Shanty-a-Day number 205. Ooh, I'm Sky.
I'm Sagan.
And we're siblings.
And we sing spooky sea shanties and spooky sea shanty adjacent music, at least for the month of October.
And maybe even longer. And it's Wednesday.
It is
You made
Wednesday.
it to Hump Day.
Yep.
Hump Day.
Hump Day.
And we have another sort of spooky but upbeat song for you.
It's not upbeat in sounds, not all that much in lyrics. Right. So it's called The Last Skipjack, and it was written by. So this is a modern shanty. It's written by Bob Zentz in 1999, and it's about.
Whoa, we were actually alive when this one was written.
We were actually alive when it was written.
Wow,
incredible. So what a skipjack is looked it up here. So it's a traditional fishing boat used on the Chesapeake Bay for oyster dredging. It's a sailboat, which sort of sets it apart from other fishing vessels because
what?
I've completely lost my train of thought.
I don't know. It's a sailboat.
It is.
So unique.
Nope, got it. Yeah, so it's a sailboat. So usually motorized fishing vessels are used for fishing, but
in modern times.
In modern times,
yeah.
But the skipjack remains in use because the law is restricting the use of power boats in the Maryland state oyster fishery. So it is actually it's still in use. However, because of because of the problem with any fishing in the same area for an extended period of time, the oyster population has dropped over time, and the sort of the way of life of oyster fishing in the Chesapeake Bay has really taken a hit. At one time, there were about 2,000 of them. In service, yeah, skipjacks.
Yeah.
And today, maybe not like today, but like in modern times, there's about 40 of them left, with less than half of that still in active service, collecting oysters on the Chesapeake Bay. So it's sort of it's caught between a rock and a hard place because there are efforts to repopulate the oysters in the bay. But at the same time, the oyster dredgers have to make a living, and so it's a way of life that is currently on the way out. Perhaps someday, when the oysters have replenished, it may see a rise again. Right. However, the song sounds much less depressing than that.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's about a ghost ship.
It is about a ghost ship. So this one has
I don't know if you can hear. I don't know if it's loud enough.
Yeah, it's raining.
Just
it's coming down.
We've had some serious weather here today. I don't know
we had
about anybody
hail
else,
earlier today.
It was crazy. None of that at the moment, but it did just start raining again.
It did just start raining. Yeah.
So if you felt slightly more atmospheric here, you're right. It is.
It is. Yep. Excuse me. So this one is like I said, it's a modern shanty.
Yeah.
So there's a repeat after every line. Then there's a chorus that everybody sings along with. So the repeat is it's very simple. It's after there's 4 lines in the stanza, so there's 4 repeats, and the
lyrics are down below.
So the response goes like this: Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. Whereas the chorus goes like this: Chesapeake Bay, oh Chesapeake Bay, last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. Chesapeake Bay, oh Chesapeake Bay, last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. So yeah, gotta watch out for that second line does something a little different, and then it goes back to sort of the familiar refrain. Yeah. But yeah,
you'll get it.
Yeah,
no problem. I don't know. You ready? We'll see if the weather holds on long enough for us here.
I mean, the windows are shut, so it's like not like we're gonna get drenched or anything.
Sure. If it gets dark all of a sudden, we'll turn some phones on or something.
If the power goes out.
Yeah. We're just going with it.
Yeah,
here.
we're just going with it.
Yeah, it's a spooky month here, so
Yep.
you never know.
It's the time of year for that. 'Tis the season. Fell asleep on deck the other night. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay when a ghostly sloop hove into sight. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay had her mast rigged back and her mainsail set. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay and the name on her trailboard I won't forget, said the last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. Chesapeake Bay, oh Chesapeake Bay. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. Chesapeake Bay, oh Chesapeake Bay. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. She was broad in the beam with a shallow draft. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay had a trim little push boat hanging aft. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. Now there's only a dozen working the bay today. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. She's the last working sailboat in the U.S.A. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. Chesapeake Bay, oh Chesapeake Bay. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. Chesapeake Bay, oh Chesapeake Bay. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. I come alongside her to a mournful song. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. Said my dredges are empty and the oysters gone. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. Then I awoke as from a dream. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. There was a sail on the horizon of the starboard beam. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. Chesapeake Bay, oh Chesapeake Bay. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. Chesapeake Bay, oh Chesapeake Bay. Last skipjack on the Chesapeake Bay. There you go.
There you go.
Kind of, I enjoy the ending. It's like, was it all a dream?
Is it all a dream, or
was it a ghost?
Was it a ghost? And is the ghost coming now to get you again?
And by getting you, we mean like just drive alongside.
Drive alongside.
Yep.
Yeah. As you do. As a ghost ship. You have the option to terrorize, but also just be spooky.
and we'll get into those tales later.
But it's okay as a ghost ship to just be spooky too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Totally acceptable. We support all forms of ghost shipping.
We do.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Yeah, okay, good. Be safe out there. We love you. And we'll see you again tomorrow.
Bye!